Hi, welcome back. This is Black Mesa, and I am distraught. I was planning on investing into this episode. I was planning on getting a bag of chips and a can of soda because of all the snacks that Gordon has been given in the air space drop for all his efforts, and to embody the character. I'd be eating all the snack that he's been given, but that completely went out of the window. First off, because I kind of forgot, and second, because I had good reasons to forget all about it. Some time ago, I talked about my hard drive failing, and I think it's actually completely gave up the ghost. Gave up the ghost a few days ago. Like, it's not making any noises anymore. It's not showing up in my computer window. In the Explorer, it can't be initialized. It's not making any noises for me to assume it's still trying to work, so it would give me an excuse to kick it somewhere, to kick it into high gear and make it move, make it go, make it work. That's not happening. So it's silent and dead, and it had data on it, and data recovery is gonna be very expensive. Very expensive. Eventually, I sprung out for a new drive in hopes to maybe manage to copy the data over, but it's too late now. It was too late. So, I'm not in the best of moods now, and when I've learned how much it's gonna cost to recover the data, it was like a gut punch. It definitely felt like a loss. It was horrible, and yeah. It's not gonna be good for all the situation. The whole beginning of the 2023 is not very cool for me. So anyway, before we get into that more, there's this river of sludge seemingly that's filtered through a sieve here, and not sure if it's actually a toxic shit sludge or if it's a matter of lighting and making it not as clear as water. And you shouldn't be jumping into it, probably, to not get fucking poisoned with whatever's swimming in shit. But we are, because we are just a character in a video game, and it won't matter much. So the hard drive failed. The data are now inaccessible, to say the least, and I'm only clinging to hope that it can be recovered. It would be expensive, very, as well, but it might still be recoverable. So it's gonna weigh on me heavily, with the fact that I'm gonna have to find some money to get that fixed, first off, and second, that it will have to sit there and not be needed for a while. Now, it had data on it, things, but hopefully there won't be anything critical, mission critical, to my daily operation with everything. However, immediately, few days after it completely gave up the ghost, I actually needed something off of it, but I managed to find it in my email because I sent it as an attachment somewhere, so I at least had ways to recoup from there. And that's still suboptimal, obviously. What I had there that's kinda important for my daily operation is clips for Apex Legends, which I released shorts out of every day, and now for a month or two they won't be available, so there won't be any shorts from there. It's a hit for the channel a little bit, because it used to get 1,000 hits or some such on those videos. However, recently it really wasn't catching on. Instead of getting 1,000, it's getting more like 40. Instead of getting 400, it was getting like 40. So that's not too cool. So slowly I'm gonna slip back into obscurity again, and the clips are gonna run out completely eventually as well, so we'll be in the same situation. But The problem is now. And I'm in a situation where fortunately all my problems can be solved by money, only I've got 99 problems and all of them are money. The channel is not called free to play for nothing and for no reason. We are doing it on a budget or lack thereof. On top of that, relatively recently, like last month, my HDMI to VGA, or the other way around depending how you look on it, adapter for one of my monitors broke, so now I'm operating on only 2 monitors instead of 3. That's shit, of course. There's some wires that just fell off and I don't have any soldering gear tools to fix it. So the guy, you know, it's an online auction, so I bought the item, I ordered it as they say. I ordered it and the guy is kind of being obstinate, accepting the return and trying to fix the issue. So that's still going slowly. It feels like I've lost a leg. I don't have the data, I don't have the hard drive, I don't have a monitor. Everything's falling apart, and if it seems like I'm doing this episode pretty well in terms of gameplay, there is a reason for that as well. So everything is trashed. The loss of data, the loss of hard drive is weighing on me heavily, but like I said, the initial gut punch and emotional response to that was awful, but emotions don't have a tendency to stay with you for long. They're just reactions, synaptic effects, right? In your brain. We're not fighting the NPCs, it's not helpful for us. Especially when we've got gargantuas on our backs. In case you're wondering. Right. So there's only some supplies that allow us to just circumvent things a little bit. And there's more of them behind us too. That would have gotten us into a relative safety, only I've landed on the jump pad right away, so we're going immediately. Damn, he got us after all. I wish they got caught by the barnacles, but they might just be a touch too big. Just a touch. Have I ever seen, or have you ever seen, what is it? Bull squid being captured by that? Oh, close. Actually. Bull squid captured by a barnacle. I haven't, or at least I don't remember. So, fuck. Close, right? Shit. And it's getting even closer. Watch it, we've got 3 jumps, not just 2 or something. Oh, that went well. Soon enough. And that's the sequence. There's like a bunch of gargantuas on our trail, on our track, on our trail, on our tail, chasing us, and we apparently don't have a good enough arsenal to deal with it. We don't have the launch, airstrike. We do have missile launcher, but apparently that's not good enough. We don't have, we don't have again a transformer station to electrocute it to death, to make it fall apart from, you know, charged. And now in the shot, there could be like 6 gargantua all at once for you to experience. Also, that roar is a stock audio. I try to get it again. We've got 4 now in a screen. Come on, give me one more roar, because I want to fucking... That one. That one is a stock audio, and we could have heard it before in Jedi Academy playthrough that I have got on the mission, during the mission on the... Well, it might not be desert planet, just because we landed on a desert doesn't mean there is only desert on the planet, but in the mission where we crash our shuttle, we have our shuttle shot down and we have to crash land on a desert, and there are sandworms because floor is lava. So yeah, there the sandworms are making those noises. There we go. 4 at once, and there should be some over here. There's the 5th one, and there might be one more rummaging in there. So it's 6 gargantuas just in here. And the sequence is just for you to keep running away, because we had running away from the head crab, well, Gonarch. That we couldn't do anything because the game said so. And here we've got it as well. We have missile launcher this time, as opposed to the time where we faced Gargantua the first time around, still in Black Mesa, and in the power station section. So we have ways to deal with it. I think we've got a lot of ammo as well, and there's a lot of them. Just for you to keep running, just for you to understand that the odds are overwhelming. So you're not supposed to stay here and fight, which makes it kind of pointless, because then you're just running away and you don't get a chance to look at the surroundings and take that in. Also, the gargantuas are often just in some sort of floral cage, like in this weird growth like this. Those roots or branches intertwining and blocking their movement until they see us, and only then they release themselves from the monster closet to chase after us. Just because the sequence was supposed to be high octane, don't get killed by the gargantua. Apparently, I don't think it was that good. You were just running, essentially. You weren't fighting anything. You weren't doing anything clever. You weren't avoiding it. You were just pressing on. And the biggest trick during that sequence is to know your way. And I unfortunately did know my way. So, like I mentioned, the initial gut punch from the loss and hearing what could be the prices for the data recovery. That felt awful, of course. Gut-wrenching indeed. But that doesn't stay with you for long. It's emotions have a tendency to not stay with you long, to be processed pretty quickly and then mellow out. However, as opposed to like hormonal reactions where the hormones get ejected or well, let's go with eject. The specific organs eject. Yeah, Nyland is talking again. I still don't know whether the first word is actually alone that he says when he speaks up, or and he keeps repeating himself, but I don't know if he starts with alone. And if the subtitle is accurate with that. It still throws me off. Hormones get ejected into the bloodstream, and they have to get used up for them to stop affecting you, unlike emotions, which are just synaptic effect, I think. One way or another, emotions stay with you for less than hormonal effects. And yeah, maybe the initial horrible feeling of learning about what the initial reaction of me feeling all this grief could be gone, but the recurring thoughts is what will do you in. Every time I sit at my computer and see one monitor broken and the other not displaying any wallpaper because the wallpapers were on that hard drive, it's gonna remind me that it's broken, and I might not recover important data from that. Now, I'm not panicking much, which is to my benefit, I guess, but it's still something that I can't deal with right now, and the waiting is killing me as well. You know, it might be a function of the fact that I'm sort of always ready for the worst, so if that happens I kinda know what to do. You can either recover the data, which will cost you a lot, or, you know, I mostly know what I've got there, or what I have there. Let's go with God, right? Let's not be let's not think the worst. What I've got there, so I could go out and try to just download information, like get things that I lost again, at least some of them. But I'd rather not have to deal with that. And here we've got a vacuum cleaner apparently that just sucks in God knows what off of the sludge, maybe or maybe not. Otherwise I don't know why it's sucking out of it and blowing. And that is our way through and in. And we've got another airdrop here with atomic ammo as well, which we're full on, unfortunately. So all my idea of trying to use this gun now, in before we find ammo to replenish our stocks, is out. Because we're already full, and we won't be able to pick it up and carry it with us for later. Like, see, I can't interact with it, and you can hear the button being mashed, both on my keyboard and in the reaction. Also, alright, that. Also, yeah, we've got one-way ticket to here, which won't let us go back for that if we use the ammo and decide to restock. So the emotions, getting ready for the worst. I could recover data, I could download the stuff again, or at least a bunch of it. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, that hard drive was used to store like nostalgia data, documents, things like that. Maybe not, like I said, critical for everyday operation. However, it's critical enough that you don't want to lose it. And I've got other hard drive, like I mentioned before. Oh no, the music is going on right now, isn't it? It crossed the threshold. I've got other hard drives, older ones, smaller ones, that I used to store games images on as a backup, instead of using that to store a backup of the data that I can actually or should protect, or actually use a protection for. So there's that. And that might have been a bad idea, because I often think about those games as something that I can re-download anyway if I need to, easily as well. Epic Games recently released, gave away a few games for free that I already played, so I could get rid of that backup, because I'll have it always on my account unless they ban me, right? But instead I should have done it to my more important data, I guess. The actual solution would have been to just have more hard drives to have backups for, right? But again, this is free to play. We don't use money here. We use favors, I guess. So if I had the money to just have more hard drives to use to have backups of my data instead of needing to use them right now, that wouldn't have been a problem. But it's always a problem. You can either use half of your hard drives to store, to have backups, or or not have it because you're actively using them because you've got a use for that. Yeah, and I'm the latter. So I don't have extra hard drives to just not use, and like I said, the hard drives that I'm not using anymore serve me as game storage essentially, which might have been a mistake at this point. With all this planning, I might have made some bad choices, unfortunately. Like I said, I had to be mindful of every penny, and now instead of springing out for a hard drive when I still had the chance, I'm gonna have to spend more to fix it. Yeah. The problem is money. Money is always the problem. It's the only problem. Like, oh, what? If you're homeless, just buy a house. What's the issue? Buy two, preferably, in case one burns down, right? Why aren't you investing? Why aren't you investing your money? Because you've got no money to invest, and if you invest it, they won't give you as much returns as if you invested 10 times as much. I talked about it in Prototype. I'm pretty sure in Prototype playthrough, where I talked about investing a few pennies in crypto, that it did give me returns, but again, it wasn't $500,000, it was $50. Right, so I'm kind of fucked. Hopefully everything will turn out okay. Maybe it will still reanimate once I plug it in after a few days, to hopefully try to get it running and copy as much as I can in my own ability for free. But the situation is dire, and it's not, well, like I said, Alright. What will do you in is the recurring thoughts. Every time I sit on my computer, I see that I'm missing the data, and I have to think that it might be fixed. And that will, certainly 100%. It might be fixed, and it will cost me a lot, and I won't have access to that. And it's the same with your relationships, with people, with your family, or with someone you broke up with. The recurring thoughts of them being around is the worst part. Your emotions will turn more into moods and get you all down and not feeling well, because everything will get you back to thinking about that, right? And that's what you do when you're dealing with this grief or loss. You're trying to distract yourself really from those thoughts, to just think of something else and not have that situation come back to your mind to haunt you, really. Like I said, maybe like I said somewhere, it's most important to keep yourself busy, to escape into your work or into your hobby, or like I said, go on YouTube and ruin your life by just watching YouTube videos instead of trying to do something with your life, running away from you being fat or unemployed by just distracting yourself with funny videos. And I hope with this rambling and this unrelatable issue of me just losing hard drive while you lost a family member to a car accident, this will cure your depression, as they often say, as someone watched the funny videos and they cured their depression. Hopefully this will cure yours by commiserating with someone that had it bad as well. Right, what are we doing? Trying to plug something in over. Is this long enough? Yes, and that did want... oh, it... right, so, oh, it made it go higher. What is this what is this? What are you doing with this? It's supposed to be something that you're in charge of, because you're the slave labor. Why haven't you made it go all the way up? Are you supposed to maintain it to go low, actually? Because it's... something is pouring in, so you wouldn't want it to overflow and increase pressure, I guess. So maybe I am ruining it and they are allowing it instead of them not doing their job and me needing to do their job just in order for me to get a platform to get higher and progress in the game. Right, so with that I think it will be it for today. Thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully we will see each other in something I play for you for free. In the meantime, of course, interact with this video and every other video on my channel, preferably by watching and sharing it with others. And if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.